Right, so today I just thought I'd run through answering one of the probably the most asked questions on the channel, really, and that is, what's your favourite rifle? And the usual one is, what's your favourite hunting rifle? So, after a lot of mulling about with all the different guns I've got three here on show, top to bottom, the Edgun R5M Steyr. In the middle is the Steyr Hunting 5 Auto, and at the bottom is the Anschutz 9015 Hunting, and that one normally lives in my Warren Edwards target stock, but I've taken it out, so I just want to do some messing about with it in its hunting format. Anyway, so people say, what's your favourite hunting air rifle out of all the ones you've had, currently own, and have owned? And I've actually finally, I think, come to a conclusion that my favourite hunting rifle, purely hunting rifle, all things considered, is going to be the Edgun. The Edgun Matador, the R5M. This thing is as tough as nails. Alright, I had a problem with the first one I had a faulty regulator, but that can happen with any make. But all fair dues to Graham Denny at Edgun UK. He sorted it out, replaced it straight away. I mean, really quick service. Fair dues to the chap. Right on the ball with that. And since then, this rifle's been superb. It's as tough as old boots, properly rugged rifle. I've got no fears about using it in the filth, the mud, the rain, extreme heat. I don't care. This rifle's just tough as anything. It really is one rugged, tough little gun. It's heavy, yes it is, fairly weighty. But in the shoulder, it's probably the easiest rifle to shoot that I've ever had in the shoulder. It doesn't come up to the mount as fast as the Steyr. I've never had a rifle that does. The Steyr comes up onto the aim so quickly, it's ridiculous. It's like a driven bore rifle or a shotgun almost in the ease of mounting the Steyr. But when it's actually on the aim, this gun is so beautifully balanced, and the weight actually helps because it throws it towards the back a little bit, so it sits in your shoulder well, and it is so easy to shoot offhand. It's also incredibly quiet since I put the bat moderator on it. See here, big fat bat moderator on it. It's very, very quiet. It's got a really good side lever action. Okay, it's not as super lightweight and slick as perhaps the FX action, but it's really positive, very, very good, very reliable, very positive, really, really nice, solid, well engineered action that feels like it's going to last a long, long time. The mags are great. Simplicity in themselves, just plastic with a little rubber band around to hold pellets in. Dead easy, nothing complicated, dead easy and quick to load. It's just easy. Great trigger, really nice walnut stock. All in all, it's just a great rifle. You get a good number of shots per fill out of it as well. Obviously that depends on what foot poundage you're shooting, what calibre you're shooting and whatnot, but for a field hunting rifle you're going to be pushing it to ever run out of shots on a normal hunt with this rifle. It's got a decent sized cylinder on it, but it's the fact that it's super accurate as well. I mean, this thing is super accurate. No doubt you've seen the videos that I've done on shooting this thing, you know, shooting out to 70 yards even. Shooting over targets and stuff at 70 yards with this thing at sub 12. It's crazy accurate, really. Doesn't come with a bipod attachment. I've run through fitting that, but once that's on with a bipod, shoots beautifully off that as well. But it was an all-round hunting gun to be shot offhand. This is my favourite. It's so tough. It is a really rugged, tough rifle. Really is. It's just, it feels tough. Everything feels solid on it. By comparison, the FX feels a bit dainty. And it does, the FX does feel a little bit dainty compared to this thing. This is just really, really well made. Very, very heavy duty, full on hunting rifle that I've used in all sorts of crappy weathers. And had no worries about it. You know, you come home, wipe it down, dry it off. A little bit of lube on the cocking mechanism perhaps, and that's it. And look at it, it's just like brand new. It's a brilliant gun. Hunting 5 Auto, again, one of my all-time favourites, and indeed the longest serving of my air rifles, apart from my Webley Mark III, which I've had for donkey's years, but don't really use much these days. But the Steyr Hunting 5 Auto is the rifle I've had for a long time. I like this gun, it's beautiful. As a hunting rifle, again, supremely accurate. 5-shot semi-auto, really nice, brilliant trigger, superb trigger actually. Slight problems, no shrouded barrel, and the silencer adapters aren't ideal. And when you've got a silencer on it, it is quite a long rifle. Not that I've ever found that a problem. I think it's more of a theoretical problem than an actual problem, to be honest with you. But yeah, so fantastic gun. And also, I took this down to the range last Sunday. I had a whale of a time with this thing. It's a proper dual purpose sort of rifle, this thing. It's something you can take quite happily down to any range. I was shooting out to 55 yards with it, knocking spinners over left, right and centre easy. And then it's equal as at home in the hunting field as it is on the target range. It really is. It's a proper dual purpose sort of rifle. Perhaps a little bit more delicate than the Edgun. Not quite as quiet, even with the silencer on it's not quite as quiet as the Edgun either. Purely because of the size of that. I mean, you've got a massive volume of air there to kill the noise on that Edgun. Even compared, you know, to fit an equivalent silencer on the end of the Steyr, it'd have to be bloody massive, and it's not got a shrouded barrel either. So yeah, great gun though, great dual purpose gun. Had an absolute blast with that on the range. Really, really enjoyed myself. And then we come to the Steyr Hunting. The Anschutz Hunting, pardon me, a 9015. This thing is stupidly accurate. I mean, stupidly accurate. Again, on the range with this, with that Warren Edwards stock that I've got for it. 55 yards, the tiniest of spinners. As long as the wind's not blowing too hard, every time. This thing's hitting them every single time once you've got the range in. It's stupidly accurate, ridiculously well made. It reminds me more of a precision machine than a rifle, to be honest with you. The way that everything's made on this, it's like a sort of scientific instrument almost, as are all these top flight target rifles. The trigger is feather light and astonishingly crisp and mind-numbingly lovely. A couple of lads at the range that shot this all commented on that trigger. It's stunning, unbelievably stunning trigger. It's just ridiculously good. Big fat solid barrel. Really good heavy barrel. Beautiful cocking action on it, side lever cocking on it, it's beautiful. Really easy, direct thumbing in the pellets into the breech. And yeah, really impressed with it. And I've put the hunting stock back on, because what I want to do next time I go up the range, I'm going to actually take it round for a walk and do the HFT course they've got there. They've got knockdown targets in the trees and stuff. So I'm going to take it for a little walk round and use it on the HFT course. I've shot a good few rabbits with this rifle already in this format, not with the Warren Edwards stock on. It's far too heavy to carry around for rabbiting. As this, it's not too bad in this format. Shot a fair few rabbits with it, but I must admit, I really would not fancy taking this rifle out hunting in the rain or when it's slopping about in the mud. You know, going through gates where you're wading knee deep in cow muck, and where they've churned the ground up to a sloppy mud puddle. I wouldn't like to put this rifle anywhere near it. I'm not saying you couldn't. You know, it may well be okay, but looking at it, looking at the intricacy and also the openness of everything on it, you know, the trigger, everything there is fairly open to the elements and to mud and whatnot. And likewise, you know, it's just not that kind of gun really. It's a great gun for a nice day when it's dry. You know, taking it round, shooting a few rabbits, a couple of squirrels with it or whatever. Staggeringly accurate. I shot a rabbit the other day, about 50 yards, resting on a tree stump, sort of half sitting, resting on a tree stump with it. Took it out the headshot, absolutely perfect placement, just below the ear, behind the eye, perfect placement. It was almost as if you'd walked over and actually shoved the pellet in it. It's ridiculously accurate, but it's definitely not the sort of gun that you'd want to take out on a filthy winter's day, or for that matter, a filthy winter's night, wandering around hunting with. They call it the hunting, and it can be used for hunting, and it's good fun for hunting, but it's not the sort of rifle I would use in the winter. I've used this in the pouring rain and all the rest of it. It's, like I say, a multi-purpose gun, but if you're doing that, the Edgun, it's made for the job. That's what it's built for. This thing's built purely for hunting. It's rugged, it's tough, it's dependable. It does everything you need of it. It's got a good trigger. It's very, very, very accurate. Sits in the shoulder incredibly well. You can shoot it off hand very well. It's very easy to shoot off hand, and it's a really nice gun. Haven't took that one to the range yet, because really it's not a range rifle, but I will end up taking it there eventually. This thing, dual purpose, as I said, lovely, lovely, lovely gun. Really nice. It's just the length and the fact that when you stick a silencer on it to quiet it down, because it's got no moderator on it, it makes it very long. And also because it's unshrouded, it's quite noisy anyway. So it's not even with a silencer on, it's quiet, but it's not the quietest. And this thing, really, target, HFT, and a little bit of nice summer hunting. So there you go. So that, I think, answers it. So my favourite hunting gun is that I've ever had, out of all the rifles that I've ever had, is the Edgun. If you're after a dual purpose gun that you can hunt with, and then go the range and put in a massively credible performance, then you won't go far wrong with the Hunting 5, the Auto, or just the Hunting 5. And if you want something for down the range, for target shooting, that on a nice dry summer evening you can nip out, pot a few rabbits off with, then the Anschutz Hunting is your answer. It's fairly light in that format, but you've still got that staggeringly accurate, reliable and consistent action of the 10-meter target rifle and all the other hunting, all the other target, HFT and field target action still to rely on, fall back on. Lovely, lovely rifles. Must admit, getting more into this target shooting lark now. Really enjoy myself down there. It's great fun. If you've never tried it, if you've mainly hunted, and you thought it's not for you, like I did, I suggest you you pop down to your nearest club and have a little go. It is great fun. Seriously good fun. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. There will be a new rifle arriving, possibly the end of this week, maybe next week. Something a little bit special, something a little bit specialist. So keep your eye open for that video when that comes up. But yeah, so there you go. So in answer to my favourite hunting gun, Edgun R5M Matador. Fantastic rifle. Fit it with a bat silencer. Super quiet, super accurate, and as tough as old boots.